You can join us live for our next BookFunnel webinar. Check out the link in the description for more details. We hope to see you there.
If my book is in KDP Select or Kindle Unlimited, can I use BookFunnel? Or how would I use BookFunnel? And so first, to answer the question, simply, yes, you can use BookFunnel if your book is in KDP Select or enrolled in Kindle Unlimited. Those two are synonymous with each other. In order to be in Kindle Unlimited, you have to be enrolled in KDP Select, right? There's not one without the other. But how would you go about using it? That's the question that people have. So a few things. First, if you're looking to do group promos, obviously I have the group promos board here. You're searching for promos to put your books in, right? What are your goals? For starters, if you're wanting people to buy your books or read them through Kindle Unlimited, you would want to be looking for two types of promos. There are sales promos that you can add your books to using a BookFunnel universal link. And there are also Amazon promos. These are promos that are specific to Amazon. They may not be specific to Kindle Unlimited, though they generally are. So for example, we have this is a science fiction fantasy promo for Kindle Unlimited for the month of October. The idea being that you create a BookFunnel universal book link that links to your book on Amazon. That's what you would add to this promo. And when readers find it through the promo, they will be going to Amazon to get your book. They're not going to be getting your book or downloading it from BookFunnel. So that's not going to violate the terms of service of Kindle Unlimited or KDP Select. So Amazon promos or sales promos, you are totally good to do. You're not going to get in trouble whatsoever by participating in those types of promos. And again, the landing page that you're going to create, I'll show you here, is a universal book link. So I should have an example here. So this is an example of a universal book link. This is showing kind of all the options that you have. So you'll see there's a ton of buttons here. You don't have to use all these buttons. In fact, you have to add these to the page. Right? I just added them all to demonstrate. If your book is exclusive through Kindle Unlimited, you might add Amazon or Kindle. You could add those icons there, but you can also link to it in this button. And when a reader clicks on this button, they're going to be taken to whatever store you want them to land on. So this page doesn't give them access to the book. They can't download it. You can allow them to read a sample of the book first if you want to. Generally, if the sample is less than 10% of the book, you're not going to get in trouble with Amazon on that front. So you can still use this sample feature with a book that is enrolled in KDP Select. That's usually not a problem. Just make sure that, I would say, if you check the look inside feature on Amazon and make sure that the sample that you offer is not any longer than what they can see through Amazon's look inside, then you'll be okay, right? And so this page, again, doesn't let them download the book. It just lets them click over and then visit the store where they can purchase it. So again, it doesn't violate the terms of service of KDP Select. Now, the issue with KDP Select is if they're able to get the book from anywhere else. And so this would also include things like email sign-up pages. With an email sign-up page, I'll just use an example here. Let's see. This is a good one, right? So this one here, they're getting the book for free by joining our newsletter. This would be, if I were giving away this book and it was in KDP Select, that would be a problem, right? That could potentially get you in hot water. Now, some authors will get around this by giving away a sample in this same manner. And Amazon has in the past kind of given the green light on that. However, some of that verbiage has disappeared from the KDP Select websites. Unfortunately, now it's a little bit of a gray area. But generally speaking, authors were distributing, again, a 10% sample of their book outside of Amazon and weren't really necessarily running into any problems. But, you know, your mileage may vary. You want to decide whether or not that's what you want to do, your risk tolerance, if you will. What I would suggest instead, though, and what is more ideal and a better experience for the reader, is to offer a full-fledged reader magnet. And so if you're writing fiction, maybe write a short story or a novella that is related to your story and give that away for free instead. Since it's not on Kindle Unlimited, right, you can still give that away for free and that's no problem. And you can grow your mailing list and then you can drive those readers to go get your books on Kindle Unlimited, right? If you're writing nonfiction, very much the same, you can create some supplemental materials or something in addition to or a primer for your nonfiction works that you have on Kindle Unlimited. If that's where you have them, use that as a reader magnet. So it works for fiction or nonfiction. And that lets you also grow your mailing list. And if you are participating in BookFunnel group promos, you could then participate in newsletter promos with your reader magnet. Newsletter promos let you give away a copy of your book, generally in exchange for the reader being able to then join your mailing list. right? So overall, if your books are in KDP Select, Kindle Unlimited, right, you don't want to be giving away the full book, right? If you feel comfortable with giving away a sample, make sure that you limit it to 10%. And when we say 10%, I want to be clear, it's actually not 10% of the word count. It's 10% of the file size. So this can sometimes trip up authors, right? If you check the word count, that 10% might actually be greater than the file size itself. That is what Amazon will check if they see that you're giving away a sample. That's what they'll use to verify that you're actually giving away 10%. Right. So check the file size, make sure that it's 10% of the total file size, or probably a little less. I would hedge your bets if you choose to give away a sample. Otherwise, use a reader magnet instead. So we have a few questions here that might be pertaining to this. So I'll go ahead and take a look for any Kindle Unlimited specific questions, and then we will dive into the rest. Let's see. There is a question, what is a reader magnet? And so, yes, a reader magnet can take a few forms, but basically you are giving away, it's a book that is intended to be given away. We also have some additional reader magnet webinars, including recently we had an ARC magnet webinar that we talked about. That's one of those 5 types of reader magnets, as well as just a general one on growing your audience with reader magnets. So you can check those out as well if you're unsure. But basically, it is a book that is intended for that purpose, to be given away for free, and works well with Kindle Unlimited or KDP Select. All right.
Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos from BookFunnel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.